I'll let you know when it starts.
Less.
All right, so it started. This is season 4, episode 9. We got NFL playoffs with my buddy here, Eddie, and
What
we're gonna
up?
talk about the matchups for these upcoming games today and tomorrow and Monday's games. So we're gonna start it off with today's first game. We got the Raiders and Bengals. I actually want to see the spread on this. What is the spread? Do you have
The
it pulled up on
spread,
your end?
the spread is Cincy -6, Raiders +6.
Oh, wow. The matchup predictor has the Bengals winning by 67% chance of winning
You
the game.
know, I feel like with Cincinnati, I mean, they
They
got
got
the
to look at
stars.
this. Renfro is like hard. He's one of the better route runners.
Yeah, but thing is, I mean, Cincy's defense has shown up, though. You know, I mean, if we look back at, Cincy and Chiefs. I mean, yeah, it was. I mean, it was a tough game, 100%. But I just feel like Cincinnati's defense will show up because really, Raiders. I mean, you can either unleash Waller or Renfro. That's a dual threat, you know. So
And they have Jacobs.
they do have Jacobs. They do have Jacobs, but I honestly feel like Cincinnati. It's in Cincy,
Yeah, I didn't think
so
about that. It is in
yeah.
Cincy.
I mean,
For an evenly matched game, though, like these are the two most like evenly matched teams coming in to face each other
oh,
compared to
no doubt,
everyone else.
no doubt. I honestly feel like this game is really going to boil down to is Derek Carr gonna is he gonna do what the Raiders need him to do, or is he just gonna overthrow, make those incomplete passes that are just you need him. You know, I mean, we saw that in the last game that the Raiders play, and there was a lot of overthrows. You can't just throw to Darren Waller down the middle every every single play. So, or Renfro on the side, on the outside. Excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, what kind of season? Yeah, Renfro went over 1,000 yards for the season. Damn, 103 receptions,
Nine
almost at a
touchdowns.
thousand, 9 touchdowns. Jamar Chase is like shitting on him completely with not even near as much receptions. So if
81.
imagine Jamar Chase having 103 receptions because he's sitting at 1,400 yards with 81.
Yeah, yeah.
So that dude would have like a 2,000 receiving yard season if he got as many targets as he's getting,
I mean, hell, we could even talk about the QBs. Joe Burrow, 34 touchdowns. Derek Carr, 23 touchdowns.
and the same amount of
Same amount of
interceptions.
yards. Yeah, same amount of interceptions. I really think Cincinnati's offense, they're young. I mean, they were talking about it last game. Uh, Jamar Chase is only 25. Joe Burrow is 25. T. Higgins is 26.
They got a younger roster, yeah, they
Yeah.
do.
So you get
They
these,
do
you
that.
get
They do
these,
have that going for them.
yep. And you get the younger guys. They're first time in the playoffs. Haven't had a playoff win since '96, I believe.
They got a lot more on their plate than the Raiders do.
I would say they're more hungry, 100%. Now,
Raiders are pretty fucking hungry though, with all the bullshit that they went through. I'm rooting for
yeah,
them at this point.
yeah. I mean, hell,
They
your head
lost their
coach is
best
gone.
player. They lost their head coach. They lost a bunch of fucking people. They lost Kenyon Drake. They they have all these injuries, but they still managed to go 10-7.
Now, I would say the biggest question with Las Vegas, though, is Josh Jacobs going to remain healthy, especially if they win in Cincinnati? I mean, because you got to think the Raiders, if they win, uh, if they win, they go and play Tennessee in Tennessee. So, I mean, you're playing a whole different beast once you get past Cincinnati. But if Cincinnati does what Cincinnati does and gunslings, throws the deep ball to Jamar Chase, then you got T. Higgins on the outside. I don't know.
You know what though? The Bengals lost to, they have a decent amount of losses, and I feel as if it's not so much their offensive side of the ball that causes their losses; it's their defense, and their defense has a hard time covering physical players
Yeah.
because that's
Oh,
how the Niners beat them in OT. Was that OT? Either way, Niners beat them like last second just off
yeah, Niners
physicality.
did beat them in OT.
Yeah, it was OT, and it was solely based off of they were just hitting quick plays, not stopping. So I feel as if the Raiders come out and they use their run game to their advantage because they have a running back that can mow these guys over.
Oh, yeah. And Josh Jacobs is not just your ordinary back. He is
And if they
very,
have
very much.
Waller, and Waller's super physical, he's one of the better tight ends out there. If Waller can come out and be physical down the middle and not get hurt, I feel like it's in the Raiders' direction more than anything. Like they have the better chance. Now the only thing that's not going in their direction is they're not playing in Vegas. They got to go all the way to Cincy and possibly play in some very shitty weather.
So it is fair to bring this up. So Bengals and Raiders actually faced each other this season.
They never faced each other.
No, they faced each other this season in November.
Oh,
Cincinnati went to Vegas,
did
beat them
Cincy win?
32 to 13 in
Let me see
Vegas.
this. Let me see this. I didn't even
Yeah.
think about that. Glad
Yeah.
you brought that up. So,
Now,
oh,
go ahead.
oh wow,
Yeah. Yeah. If we're looking
wow.
at the same thing, like I just want to point this out real quick. Rushing wise, Cincinnati, that Cincinnati got Joe Mixon. So, not only the Raiders have Josh Jacobs, but Cincinnati has a very much dependable back that's been in this league. So Joe Mixon, when they faced each other in Vegas, he carried the ball 30 times, ran for over 120 yards with an average of 4 yards a carry, but 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the Raiders stat line, like their highs for that game. Carr didn't really have the greatest game. Jacobs had a terrible game. He didn't even break 50 yards. But
Yeah,
Waller,
but Darren
like I
Waller.
said, Waller had their number. I don't know what they were doing, but they need to keep the Waller game plan. Now they need to change the Josh Jacobs game plan because that shit was not working. Whatever the fuck they were doing. Maybe that was one of the games where he came out early because of injury. Because he did
Yeah.
have Jacobs had a few games this year where he came out early because of injury. And at that time, him and Kenyon Drake, I think, were platooning. They were going back and forth. And
Well, they
then once,
definitely did share the load. They shared the load.
because towards the end, when Kenyon Drake went out with the season-ending injury, if you look at the end of the season for Jacobs, he was having huge numbers because he was the
That is
only
true.
back. He's got
That is true.
129, 63 is decent, but finished the season out against the Chargers with 132. Like, there's something there for Jacobs. Like, he ended the season on a high note. Now,
Yeah.
Carr only broke 300 yards in the beginning of the season. And in the second half of the season after their bye week, his like passing drastically changed, and especially at the end.
I would say it's fair to say, I mean, the passing drastically changed because they have a game plan with Darren Waller, and then when Darren Waller goes down, they have Hunter Renfro picking up that load. I mean, there's a
Now
lot of controversy with.
the only key guy that they're missing for receiving is now Drake. Because other than that, they got Waller back. They have Renfro. They have Jacobs. Jacobs is so far from what I've heard. I haven't heard any injury, like major injury news about the Raiders for this game.
No, their injury report. The only two guys that are going to be completely out is Nicholas Morrow and Darius Philin, his defensive tackle and linebacker. So
Yeah, the injury report, at least okay. They don't have any like if they would have said Crosby was out, I would be like, yo, that's a huge
well, yeah.
hit.
So they don't have any like 100% key players. I mean, you still got Crosby on the end.
And it looks like the Bengals pretty much have all their guys too.
Pretty
Besides,
much, yeah.
they're hiding Burrows. That no, don't let anyone forget about this. Burrow got his ass whooped. Like got beat the fuck up. Not the last game of the season because he didn't even touch the field because he was jacked up.
Talking about with the Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs fucking
Now,
ragdolling him.
that's what I was gonna say earlier. Controversy with Joe Burrow, his knee. Is he hurt? Is he not hurt?
I think it
did
was
not
his
play the
shoulder,
last
didn't they?
game.
Did they say it was his shoulder or was it a knee injury that they were talking about?
So they say, why didn't Joe Burrow play the last game? A, you really don't need him to play.
You didn't need him to play.
Jamar Chase only played that game to break Cincinnati's single season wide receiver record, which Jamar Chase did beat by 10 yards, I believe. So
yeah, he did it. Money, baby. He needed that money.
Yeah. So, I mean, we can keep going back and forth with Raiders and Bengals, but I mean, with the matchup predictor, what do you say? I mean, are you leaning Cincy? Or are you leaning Vegas?
I'm leaning towards. Damn.
It's tough.
So Cincy has the advantage offensively. If the Raiders can show up on their defensive side of the ball without offensive mistakes, they can win the game. I don't think it's going to be a 3-point game. It's not going to be no 6-point spread. They're giving the Bengals like way too much credit. Because you got to remember, they're 10. They're not no like 13-4, 13. They're not like the Packers or the Chiefs right now. They squeezed in. People gotta remember that.
They did beat the Chiefs. They did beat the
Bengals. Bengals had a very lopsided because of injury, and so did the Raiders. They're very hard to tell what kind of team they are because of injuries. But now both teams made it. They have a lot of their players that they want in. So I feel like it's gonna be a very evenly matched game. It's gonna be solely based. If they could stop Mixon, they could take Bengals run game away, and if the Bengals can stop Jacobs, so Jacobs has been stopped plenty of times throughout the season.
I agree 100%.
I'm leaning towards Cincy winning it just because Burrow is the better QB.
Okay.
Cincy winning it by 3. It's going to be a high-scoring game because Raiders, if you look at the Raiders' whole schedule, they had a lot of high-scoring games against a lot of offensive teams. And it's going to turn into a shootout because Burrow is going to launch the deep ball. If they don't cover the deep ball, the Raiders are screwed.
So, I'm leaning towards Cincinnati as well. Just kind of going based off they already had a matchup. Yeah, it was in November. 32-13, Cincinnati won that game. I think it's really going to boil down to is Raiders going to let Cincinnati make those big plays that they've made all season. But I mean, if they stop, Jamar Chase has done a go route and he pivots off a slant and scores. I mean, if they can shut down Jamar Chase and stop the big plays, I feel like the Raiders can pull this one out. But it's going to be a tough ass game with Cincinnati in Cincinnati. So I'm going to say Cincinnati wins by 7.
I can agree with the 1 score difference. I can agree with that.
I just
now,
feel
how
like
high up will the score? Now I say it's going to be along the lines of a 28-21, maybe even a little bit higher.
I can see that. By no means do I think either of these teams' defenses can stop and make this a low score game. Cincinnati, it's going to be a one score game. It's going to be whoever lets that big play go through.
Now, if Carr shows up with his experience and doesn't make any mistakes, Cincy's going to struggle.
Carr has to show up. I mean, if this could be
this is going to be all about time management. It's going to come down to who has the ball.
Yeah. And I think also whoever turns over the ball first, that momentum is going to have to.
Raiders need to get, if they want to win, to beat the Bengals, you got to get turnovers.
And you very well could. We've seen this countless of times this season that Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, let me just do this go route right quick. And, I hate to say it, but fucking Jamar Chase is out there. But you got Jamar Chase. The dude's young. He's
fast. It's hard to cover.
He's fast as hell. They have the chemistry from LSU, so I still feel like it's Cincinnati. I do agree with 2021. It's going to be a 1 point. It's going to be a one score game.
Yeah.
Difference.
All right, we got to move on to the next game. So tonight's game, we have
Patriots and Bills.
Patriots and Bills. Now that is a harder game to judge more than. Oh wow, they actually have the Bills winning the game with a 61% chance of winning it.
Yeah. 5-point spread.
That's a slap in the face to Bill Belichick. The dude has the coaching freaking encyclopedia on how to win games.
So if we talk about Bill Belichick, been to 9 Super Bowls.
Exactly.
You've won 6 of them.
And to take your rookie QB this far.
Yeah. And if we talk
they're
about
just going to get more dangerous.
Yeah, if we talk about when did the Bills and Patriots play? Obviously they played twice this season, but if we talk about the Bills and Patriots, I think it was beginning of December. Mac Jones only threw 3 passes. They ran the ball the whole time. Bills defense definitely got exposed. They played again after Christmas. Buffalo beat them by 33-21.
Buffalo turned full circle towards the end.
Yes, and Patriots. Go ahead.
I feel like Buffalo, what they have in their favor, they're home for this, right? Well, yeah. New England's not a fair weather team. I just read they both play in frozen ass stadiums, so
yeah.
They don't really have having a home field advantage may not really go in their favor because both teams know how to play in that environment.
Well, they're divisional.
Yeah. They already know they've played each other twice. That's the one thing that they do have going for them is they're both very familiar with the team's game plans. But come playoffs, coaches are gonna toss in some wild plays. They're gonna do it more than likely towards the beginning, and if they're in a desperation setting where they need to score, they're probably gonna toss in some crazy plays towards the end. But they're not gonna do it to where it decides the game. So this game, we're probably going to see some Stephon Diggs can throw.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that when they beat them 33-21, that was when Diggs threw the ball on the Patriots.
So, it's fair to point this out as well. If we what is Bill Belichick's plan going into this? Because if we're looking at the injury report, Kobe Myers is questionable. That's a key player. Dante Hightower is questionable. Adrian Phillips, safety, questionable. And then Jalen Mills is out, cornerback. So
Ouch.
No, but here's the thing though, like it's fair to say like Bill Belichick going into the playoffs. I mean, this is like an every other Sunday for this dude.
Damn,
You know what
Bills
I
have
mean?
no injured players. I was like, where are the
Yeah.
Bills injured players? And then I'd seen the little fine print saying no injured players. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
damn.
So but here's the thing though, Bill Belichick, this is like an every other Sunday for him. The dude's been in the playoffs so many damn times. He's won more playoff games than Miami would win in a season. Hate to say it,
Yeah.
Miami, but still, like,
Oh my lord. Oh, that game. It's gonna be a run game. They're not gonna be
oh, it
passing.
is.
They're not gonna be passing too much. Um, because it says the game forecast is 6 degrees, and it's gonna possibly feel a lot. And they said there's wind gusts, so it's not gonna come
Oh, it's
down to
gonna
a
be
field
cold as
goal.
hell.
It's cold as hell and it's windy, so they're not gonna be kicking the ball. They're not gonna try to kick the ball as much as possible.
I mean, I do see like dump passes here and there, but the biggest thing is Jacoby Myers. He's questionable. If he does not play, that is Mac Jones, dude. Like, I mean, if you
I
look at the
have the
last
Bills.
game,
I have the Bills winning this game just because one, they have the more talented QB. They have the better receivers. They don't have any significant injuries. The Patriots are hurting right now. Pretty sure they lost their final game actually too. See, last five Patriots. Yeah, Patriots lost to the Dolphins.
they did.
But I think they were in playoff mode. Like they clinched before that game.
I think this is gonna be tough, man. Like I just can't get over Jacoby Myers being out. I mean, then you got Dante Hightower out. Like,
Hightower is the one for me
well,
because
excuse me, they're not out; they're questionable. So
questionable, which means they're going to be limited.
yes, and the biggest thing is though with New England, Damian Harris in the backfield, um, is is he going to be enough to carry the load? Is I mean,
Ooh, Patriots are freaking sneaky, man. They're being secretive about it too. I looked at the injury status, like the report. They didn't
mhm.
report nothing. They just said
Oh
finish practice in a limited fashion. So
yeah,
they're not going to say. Let's see what Hightower says. Hightower. Oh, they specified it was his knee, which is not good.
no,
So he's limited. Hightower knee. I don't think he even practices. They didn't even specify if he practiced or not. I don't really pay attention to the Patriots news that much, so I have
well,
no idea.
Jalen Mills. I mean, that's one of their top corners, and he's out. So I mean, you said
Jacoby.
that
Let's see. Oh no, Jacoby is his thigh, so it's a muscle issue. So he pulled something.
still, like he could, if they play him. I mean, he's gonna have to be limited because it's cold as hell out there. You
Yeah.
could strain that muscle even more.
Yeah.
There's a
So they're
lot
they're
going for the
gonna
Bills right now.
you're gonna see him on the sideline on the bike a lot,
Yeah,
staying loose.
and there's a lot going for the Bills right now. Patriots got hurt at the worst time.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say they're still saying it's gonna be a 4.5 point spread. Honestly, this game, if anything, should be a 7 point spread, just based off the fact that the Patriots are in a very bad physical state
Yeah.
defensively,
Well, I mean, if we look at
mainly
the Patriots' last 5 games, they've lost. They only won two out of. I mean, 2 out of 5.
yeah, they're hurting.
Bills' last 5 games, they won 4 out of 5.
Yeah, Bills are hot.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean they're coming off of a 4 game win streak, so the
And
momentum
no
is
injury.
there.
They got a
Yeah, the
lot of guys
momentum is there.
that came back from injury. Yeah. Um, neither team is really like defensively like noticeable. They haven't really been brought up for their defense. They've been really known for offensive games. Mac Jones seems like he struggled more towards the end than anything.
Yeah.
And I think it might be due to the fact that their schedule was a little bit. Actually, no. Yeah, they had the Patriots' last 5 games. 2 of the 5 were Buffalo. One of them was Indy, and they finished out the season against Jacksonville, and then they had a pretty harsh game against Miami, which Miami should be in the playoffs, I think, over a couple of the teams that are in. And then Miami firing their head coach after that was so dumb.
Oh, it is.
Oh, I thought that was ridiculous. I thought that was so ridiculous.
But
and now Brian Flores is going to probably be the head coach of the Bears, it looks like.
I would say the Bears, actually, yeah, the Bears. I was going to say New York.
He interviewed today. They're planning
on
hiring. Yeah, he finished an interview today for a head coaching spot. Like, the dude's going to get hired. He's already interviewed.
That is tough.
Oh, no. Actually, I think he interviewed for the Texans. My bad.
Texans?
Yeah.
Yeah, David Culley did just get fired yesterday.
They deserved that.
Yeah.
In a way, I don't think the Texans should have fired anybody because they're handed a shitty deck of cards.
Yeah, the NFL coaching vacancies right now: Denver, Miami, Jacksonville, Minnesota, Raiders. But hell, the Raiders could very well.
Raiders don't. They're gonna keep the guy. The reason why they haven't specified, they said already that Mark Davis came out and said they're not gonna talk about their head coaching situation until the season's over. The thing is, though, they're doing fine with who's the head coach now.
Yeah, he kind of took over in a very shitty situation.
Yeah.
So, hell, you took the team to the playoffs, and they could very well be one of the teams that make it to a championship, maybe even more. So, it's going to be tough. But instead of, they're talking about the NFL coaching vacancies. Like, you want to give your prediction on Buffalo, New England?
Buffalo has the advantage. I think this one's going to be a 7-point spread. It's a rivalry game.
7-point spread?
Yeah. It's going to be a 7-point spread. I don't think it's going to be 4.5. They're saying 4.5, which is, I could see it being that way. And it's going in the Bills' favor already. So, I could see it easily. The Bills are probably going to win this by more than a field goal. It's going to be a touchdown. It's going to be a touchdown. And it's going to be like a dagger touchdown, too. Like, it's going to be a close game, and then they're going to come in with, 4 minutes left in the game and just hit them with a 1-2.
Yeah.
They're going to milk the clock down and then score a touchdown, and it's going to be it.
Buffalo obviously has the upper hand. Obviously with all the injuries and stuff. I really see this game being 24-14. Buffalo.
Yeah.
10 points.
I see that.
And the only reason why, you got a rookie quarterback, Mac Jones. Not saying, anything bad about the guy because the dude came over. You're a rookie in Bill Belichick's system, and I don't think anybody really thought, hey, they would get what, the 5th seed? What they get? 6th seed?
Yeah.
For what New England was dealing with, they've definitely showed out, but hey, it's Bill Belichick's system. I feel like Bill Belichick has a plan. Buffalo did win against them the last time they met in Foxborough. Now it's in Buffalo. Divisional games are always tough, but I just feel like with all of these injuries, 3 of them, they're questionable. They're missing Jalen Mills on the outside. It's probably not going to be a passing game, but you still got Josh Allen.
Well, See, that's the thing is Josh Allen's gonna see that. He's gonna see that they're missing a lot of people on defense, and he's gonna want to pass because he knows that he can.
Yeah, and then you got Stephon Diggs and Emmanuel Sanders.
And what's his face? Beasley.
Yeah, Beasley, and then you also got Zach Moss in the backfield that takes. I mean, you could do the dump pass with him. I mean, hell,
And
even
you
Devin.
got Moss and Singletary. They're both good out of the backfield.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a good ass game, but I really feel like it's gonna be 24-14, 10 point
Yeah,
spread.
I see
I
that.
feel it.
All right. So that's for today's games, I believe.
Yes.
Now
that's for sure.
tomorrow. Do you want to end this with the Niner and Cowboy conversation? Or you want to talk about everyone else and then move on to the Niner Cowboy conversation?
I feel like Niners and Cowboys gotta be last.
Yeah. All right.
I feel like it.
There's
Or
a specific reason for this, everybody, as you can see.
Yeah, it's. I mean, we could either go through the list like we've been going through, but I just feel like the Niners Cowboys gonna like me and you have already. I mean, the people got to know me and you have been talking shit.
Yes.
Okay. So,
Yes.
I feel like there's a lot of animosity in that. So.
All right. So tomorrow you got Tampa and Philly. I hate to say it, Philly has been known to come out and just upset the fuck out of other teams. So I'm not gonna count them out, but their chances right now are very slim.
Dude, I mean, anyone can look at this. Matchup predictor 77% towards Tampa Bay.
It's hard to knock out Tom Brady. Let's be real.
The thing is, dude, it's Tom fucking Brady, man. It's Tom Brady. The dude has been. He's won 7 Super Bowl rings. Been in the Super Bowl 10 times. Like he won 6 with one team, won 1 in Tampa.
I didn't take this into consideration. Tampa's got a decent amount of people injured. No, like big name. They have Evans. They lost Brown, which sucks for them. Not going. That really does suck for them. That was a huge talent to lose.
Well, it was just the safe option for Tom Brady. I mean, you take away Gronk, he is that extra guy in the red zone for Tom Brady. Like, and then you left in unpopular fashion.
He finally admitted, by the way, that it was unnecessary to leave the way he left.
Yes.
Because if he would have just kept his shit on, walked away, because no one knows really what was said or anything, and just walked off and like went to the locker room and like, I'm done for the day, he probably wouldn't have got the boot.
No.
But the way where he fucking threw a fit, ripped his shit off, threw it on the ground, ran off into the end zone, started fucking getting the crowd riled up, got the camera on him, got everyone fucking completely off, like focus is totally off the game. Fucked the momentum up of everything. They still managed to win without him on the fucking field. He did, like, he specified, he's like, hey, like, my shit, my ankle, I don't feel like going back out. Or he was complaining. Someone said he was complaining about targets in that game. Like, he was like,
well, I mean,
I don't
end
know,
of the season
3 catches away. Yeah, he was bitching about fucking not getting the ball thrown to him. He was told that he had to play, and then he was like, if you want me to play, throw the ball to me type shit. And I was just like, bro, either way, like, if you don't want to play, like, even the coach brought it up too. He's like, it's not up to me. Like, if you don't want to play, you don't have to play. But you're not going to get paid if you don't play.
Right.
And then, like, that's probably what the conversation was, and then he threw a fit.
Yeah. See, I love Tampa. I mean, I love Tampa just because, I mean, hell, Tom Brady came in there, won a Super Bowl with them. It's been a while, and brought Antonio Brown on. brought Gronk on. I mean,
Le'Veon
there was
Bell's
so much.
there.
There was so much going for Tampa. Antonio Brown just kind of crumbled that up. I mean, the biggest thing with Antonio Brown being gone, they don't have Godwin. Godwin's out.
He's not on the
So
report.
yeah, he is. If you did the full report, he's in the injured reserve.
Oh, I did
Yeah.
not know that. And they're with
Now,
their starting linebacker. Oh,
now if
fuck.
you hit that full injury report, Leonard Fournette
Is out.
is
Is he
on
out?
the yeah, injured reserve.
Oh,
Now, here's the thing. Actually, excuse me, he's not out. He is going to be a game time decision. But let's just be honest here. Leonard Fournette. I mean, how many carries, how many targets does he get a game? Like, it's insane. So it's gonna be tough, man. I mean, now it's the hamstring. So if Leonard Fournette's out, Ronald Jones is actually out. His ankle wasn't spotted on the field during the portion of Friday's practice that was open. Tampa Bay ruled him out. So
oh shit! I didn't even know this.
yeah. So I mean, like, you got Leonard Fournette, game time decision. If he plays, he play. I mean, if he plays, it's going to be limited. I'm sure he's not going to get as many touches as he normally would. Ronald Jones is out. Who else does Tampa Bay even have that's going to carry the load? You know, um,
Yeah, Tampa
but
Bay. That's what I'm saying. Is like I said, Philly has came in against teams that are expected to win, but now they're facing a team that is expected to win that has a lot of people missing.
yeah,
So
and
that
not
is
just a lot
going
of
in
people
Philly's
missing, a lot of
direction.
teams. You know, so
Mm.
um, now it's fair to even actually point this out, though, Tyler, that Tampa Bay's going against the number one rushing offense in this league. So, I mean,
Yeah. Now
you got
Tampa,
Boston Scott.
if they could stop Hurts, because Tampa, this is what pisses me off about Philly the most. It's like they finished out the season against Cowboys, but they purposely knew that they were in and didn't play a single fucking starter. They gotta fix this seeding that they have going on because teams like this, the reason why the Eagles are in is because the whole NFC East sucks. Besides,
Calm down there. Calm down there. Okay. Calm the fuck down.
besides,
Okay. I saw how you
the
put
only
that in.
team that really deserves to be in there is the Cowboys. Philly is only in because they're the second best team in their division. And they damn near didn't even have a winning season.
Yeah, but I mean, Philly though, the Saints could have got in if they would have won.
And the same
But
thing for the AFC North. The reason why the Steelers are in is because the top team was only 10-7, and then they
yeah,
were second place just because the whole division this year sucked. And it's the same thing for the NFC East. Like the whole NFC East was not competitive at all. It was lopsided.
I agree. I mean,
If Philly
NFC.
gets past the first round, it's literally solely because Tom Brady shit the bed.
Now here's the thing, though. I mean, I wouldn't put it all on Brady. Obviously, if Brady loses, they're gonna put it on Brady. So I agree with what you're saying. But what I like, Philadelphia is gonna come in if they do their system. I mean, they were the number one rushing offense this whole season. If Tampa Bay stops the run, Tampa Bay is gonna win.
This is wild. This is a wild stat. And this is low key embarrassing to whoever I don't even know who the starting running back is for Philly. Who is it?
Boston Scott.
Boston Scott. Yeah, there. Yeah, no, I know. Actually, yeah, I did know. I just couldn't think of it off the top of my head. The fact that Hurts leads the team in rushing as a QB and almost
Yeah.
got 800 yards for the season That's ridiculous. It goes to
Yeah,
show that dude likes to take off like a lot. So
that's the,
if they can eliminate him on the RPOs, the thing is they know he can run and throw.
yeah.
So like if they want to eliminate the fact that of him running and they're just going to close in on him every time, they're going to start running the ball, just handing it
Very
off
true.
because if they're going to close on him, because that's the thing. Like Philly is in a way a hard team to beat because their record doesn't really show, but like they really, yeah, they're showing an 8.5 point spread. Jeez, I just seen that.
Yeah.
That's rough. They're really trying to say Eagles shouldn't even be in this game, is what they're trying to say. But
But it's
I believe
scary.
the same thing. But like, there's things like Philly has done this in the past. They have a lot of very subtle threats in there.
Yeah. I
He
mean,
does have a
Philly could,
receiving weapon, just like Burrow does too.
who, Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith.
Yeah, yeah. He has Smith.
Devontae-
He almost got it. I feel like if it wasn't so much of, I don't think Hurts played the whole season. He was in and out here and
Yeah, I
there.
think he missed 3 games. Gardner Minshew picked up those 3 games. But it's
Yeah,
fair to say,
and
man, Jalen Hurts shits the bed. You still got old Top Gun over there, Gardner Minshew.
Minshew is very streaky. If Minshew, if for whatever reason he's in this game because of injury or whatever, you can't sleep on him because he didn't really have that bad of a season in Jacksonville when he was in Jacksonville. He was
No,
dealt a
not at
shit.
all.
He's in a situation of like he was dealt a shitty fucking hand. He got booted off a team that wanted to blame him just because they had #1 pick, and they were like, "Hey, we got a #1 pick, so we're gonna go ahead and let you go." Like that, I don't think that was right for Jacksonville because now who does fucking what's his face? Damn, Trevor Lawrence have to look at and base himself off of. I feel like if Minshew would have stayed in Jacksonville, Jacksonville would have looked a lot different.
Yeah. I mean, I do feel like that. Well, I mean, um, it's gonna be a tough. I really do feel like it's still gonna be a tough game. It just
Yeah. So Tampa, I see coming out on top. Probably, I'm gonna have to say 10 points, just because he
okay.
has Evans. He's got his. He doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't have Fournette actually.
I
Maybe
mean,
maybe it does.
game time decision on Fournette. Game time decision on Fournette.
Well, that when they say that during the playoffs, Fournette's gonna play.
Yeah. You know, I wanna. I'm a Cowboys fan, so obviously I hate the Eagles. But you know,
They
I just
have
feel
that
like the Eagles.
upset. They need to come up with something other than the Philly special. That's all I'm gonna say.
I just feel like though, there's always that one team when you look at the bracket. If you really look at the whole bracket of things, you know, Pittsburgh, ugh, but Philadelphia could very well pull this off. And the only reason why I say that is number 1 rushing offense. If that gets stopped, hold up, Jalen Hurts still can throw, and then he can also make that run. I'm going to say Philadelphia wins by 3 points. I think it's going to be like 21-24.
I could see that. I could see that,
And
but at the same time, I do have to bring this up. Everyone's hyping up the Eagles, and the reason for it was they're on a 4-game win streak. But if you look at their 4-game win streak and look at who the fuck they played the worst teams in the league.
yeah, I mean, obviously you can't justify Jets, Washington, Giants, and another game in Washington. And their last game was Dallas.
Dallas was default. Dallas was going to win that game just because Dallas was, for whatever reason, playing Dak. I don't know why.
Well, we were trying to get a higher seed.
You're trying to get a higher seed, but you guys would probably won the game with your backup because they were playing their backup. They were playing their backup.
Now, Tampa does have a 3-game win streak going on. They're going into their 4th. Now, I really feel like,
high-powered offense.
I feel like Philly is going to surprise a lot of people. If Tampa now, fair assessment. I mean, Philly is going to Tampa in Tampa Bay. I mean, the energy in that
Philly has 9 wins. So they've beaten the Falcons. They lost to the Niners. They lost to the Cowboys really freaking bad. They lost to the Chiefs really bad. They beat the Panthers. They lost to the Bucks. They did play the Bucks in the regular season, and they lost 28-22.
Now, but granted, though, that's only a 6-point spread, though.
Yeah, and the Raiders whooped on them and beat them by 11, 33-22, the following week after the Bucks game. And they beat the shit out of the Lions, 44-6. They lost to the Chargers, and the Chargers have the same record as them and didn't make it in. If Chargers and Raiders game would have ended a tie, they probably would be easily facing somebody else.
Dude, and this is going to be fair to say as well. Like, if we look back at that game that Philly and Tampa played, it was in Philly. But if you really look at, like, the stats of that game, Antonio Brown, 93 yards, 9 receptions. Leonard Fournette, 22 carries for 81 yards.
Philly is in just because of the second half of the season. They had the easiest schedule to finish out.
Fair.
To finish out their final 5 games were the worst teams in the league besides the Cowboys. And then after the Lions game, like after they played the Raiders, Bucks, Chiefs, Cowboys, like all in the beginning, Niners in the beginning, these are all playoff teams that they lost to in the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
And then the second half of the season, all the teams that they beat aren't even in the playoffs.
Ooh, it's gonna be,
it's gonna be tough, man, because they got their confidence built up. Hey, we're winning games. We slipped in, type of thing. But they really don't have anything else going for them besides the fact that they beat teams that they were supposed to beat.
Yeah. I'm still gonna stick with the 24-21 Philadelphia. I feel like, man,
I can't say that Brady's gonna let that happen. Brady is he's on a high scoring team. He has a high powered offense. He has a defense that backs him up day in and day out. Like, they didn't win 13 games because by accident.
Yeah.
Now injuries are catching up to them.
I do want to point this out, though. Tampa Bay is 7-1 at home.
Yeah, and they're at home.
Yeah, Philadelphia, they're 6-3 away. So is Philly? I mean, that's more than half their wins. Philadelphia.
Yeah, but
so is it fair to say that this is going to be, a close game? Yeah. I feel like it's going to be one if Philly wins, it's going to be one on the ground. If Tampa wins,
it's going to be one off game plan. It's going to be one based off their offense has to be freaking, like, Hurts has to have, turnovers is what's going to kill them because Brady feeds off of those turnovers.
I agree.
If he sees a team starting to turn the ball over, fumbles, interceptions, like just clueless plays, just like letting the ball go wherever it needs to go, he's screwed. They are screwed. There's no.
I do agree on that. Like, I really feel like it's going to be Philly on the run and Tampa Bay in the air. Tampa Bay missing Godwin, possibly missing Fournette. What
it's
do you
not.
do with
Yeah,
that?
that's the thing. Philly has a chance to upset and piss off a lot of fan bases right now.
If Philly pulls this off, that's going to be the upset of the year. I feel like Philadelphia. And I mean maybe you can agree with me on this. Like, there's always that 1/7 seed, the last place team that would make it in that wild card. But this
Hmm.
whole weekend is the wild card weekend. There's always that one team that just feels like they can win one game. I feel like Philly's that team.
Yeah, when it's everything matters.
Yeah,
Like
like I really feel like I mean you look at it.
they
Philadelphia
have
won more
now.
games on
Hurts
the
has
road
been
than at
through.
home.
They have a quarterback that has a chip on his shoulder for sure.
Yeah. Now I'm still gonna stick with my prediction. It is. I'm gonna agree with you 100% that Tampa Bay with Tom Brady in the playoffs is a completely different man. Tom Brady, something in the playoffs like Thanos, just everything comes together.
And I'm telling you right now, he's looking at Philly like I know that they
He's
know.
rubbing his hands together and he's gritting his teeth like, okay, first game done. Who am I playing second? Okay, probably the Cowboys or Niners. More than likely Cowboys, but
We're gonna get there. All right,
all
so
right.
let's go ahead and bring up Pittsburgh versus KC.
Okay, give me one sec. I'm gonna turn my phone to the side.
Okay.
Oh, that's not gonna work. I'm gonna have to. I don't think my camera's gonna fix itself. No momento, technical difficulties. I think we're good. Here. Cool. Is that good?
Yeah, we're good.
Cool.
All right.
Oh,
So I got Pittsburgh pulled up. So
I do as well.
Pittsburgh beat the Bills first week of the season, and everyone was like, "Oh shit, look out for Pittsburgh." And then they
Yeah.
fell off for 3 games. They lost to Raiders, Bengals, and Packers. All 3 teams playoff teams. And then everyone started questioning whether or not the Steelers had it. And then they were just a streaky team. They won, lost 3, won 3, Broncos, Seahawks, Browns. Neither of those teams are playoff teams. Still, and then beat the Bears. So they went on a 4-game win streak to put themselves back in it. Tied against the Lions, which is really embarrassing. They could have easily been 10-7 or 11-6 if they wouldn't have fucking tied.
Now,
So I
I
mean,
do want to say this though, Tyler. Like the Lions, Dan Campbell. I love Dan Campbell. He brings up that room. In the Lions room. Like I really love the Lions and
yeah.
just everything that's going for him for next season. I really hope they keep Dan Campbell, which is the head coach. I mean, obviously Jared Goff, they're missing a few key players, but Steelers, Big Ben, dude. I mean, Hall of Famer, two-time Super Bowl MVP, two-time MVP. I think he was one Super Bowl MVP, 2 Super Bowl rings. The dude's a Hall of Famer. I mean, he's inching on 40 years old. You can see it on the field. The dude is brittle. They're playing the Chiefs. That's just.
Oh, it's gonna be. I gotta check out this injury report actually for this game.
I
Pull up
haven't
that.
even looked at that.
So Steelers, Kevin Dotson injured reserve, Buddy Johnson out, Juju Smith gone, James Pierre out.
Oh, Juju's gone.
Yeah, he had tore his ACL. I think
Ugh.
he tore that
That's a
early
blow.
though. He did that early in the season. But Edwards Hilaire being out really hurts. And then Darren Williams is questionable. So both their running backs, their star running backs, are one of them's iffy and one of them's for sure out. So Kansas City literally has no identity for the run game right now.
Yeah, but has Kansas? Be honest here, though. Has Kansas City's ever had an identity in the run game? Like, let's just be honest here.
They do when those guys are healthy.
No matter what it
But
ends
like
for
they weren't like they're not a household name for everybody.
fair.
I mean, they're not bottom tier, but they're not like top 10. You know what I mean? They're in the talks just because like I see your point here. Williams led the team in rushing with only 558 yards rushing. That's
Yeah.
they're not a
So
running team.
they're not. I mean, but why would you? Why would you be a running team when you have a person like Patrick Mahomes, aka Gunslinger, just behind center? You know, like why
Now,
would you be?
Kansas City can't defend Najee Harris. They're gonna have some issues.
You know, going back to what I said with Philly and Tampa Bay, you know, that 1-7 seed, man, that's just inches in to the playoffs. Can Pittsburgh do it? A old veteran like Big Ben with a young team, Najee Harris. I mean, Najee Harris, 1,200 plus yards, 307 carries. Like, they feed Harris.
Mm.
Kansas City has no identity on the rushing defense side. Like, I mean, Kansas City's got key players on, I mean, on the edge, on the defense. I mean, I really feel like, again, it's going back to Philly and Tampa. It's Kansas City's going to win in the air no matter what. We know that. Pittsburgh, can Big Ben throw those one or two plays down the field like we know Big Ben can do? And can Najee Harris run over Kansas City? That's a possibility. I mean, maybe you can agree with me on this.
So
Pittsburgh is going into this game with nothing to lose. That's scary.
yeah, Big Ben is gonna pull. He's retiring, so like if let's say they go in, they're down early, he's gonna pull any fucking move he can think of out of his ass and use it.
Yeah.
And he's a time manager. Like he's gonna keep the offense moving. They know the only way they're gonna beat those Chiefs is if they keep them off the field.
Oh, you got to keep Patrick off the field. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
And the Pittsburgh is always, especially with they've had the same head coach for so long. They are like masters of just keeping the ball. He has such a quick release. Big Ben is he's obviously not going to move, but he gets rid of the ball so quick. If Claypool doesn't fucking act like a jackass and Najee Harris runs the ball the way he's supposed to, which he has been, the Pittsburgh has a solid chance. Just solely off the fact that Kansas City is obviously passing. Their running backs are not healthy. So like Pittsburgh has a solid chance just because they really only have to focus about Kelsey and Tyreek Hill. Take them out of the equation, and the Chiefs are relatively easy to get to. And they have TJ Watt coming off the edge, like every play, leads the freaking league in sacks right now. Like they have a very good defense and a very solid their record, like people are not giving the Steelers enough credit for what they are. They are a very well balanced team. That is missing their star receiver, which could have flipped their season around completely, and they're 3-5 away. I just now seen that. That's not.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. Yeah.
And then, I mean, Chiefs have always been good at home, but the Chiefs have also lost some games this year where it was like people were considering like, are the Chiefs even the Chiefs right now? Like Chiefs have had some games where they were just like, what the fuck is wrong with the Chiefs? Like Patrick Mahomes had some very shitty games.
I mean, you know, Patrick Mahomes, man, I mean, 13 interceptions this season. I mean, 11 of those was like the first 7 games.
I could tell you just off of past playoff just because the Niners played the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, the Chiefs are just like the Buccaneers. If you start turning the ball over, they will score. They're going to score on you, like whether it's a field goal or a touchdown, or they're gonna make you pay for it.
I agree 100%.
Andy Reid is very good about figuring out how to get points out of turnovers.
I agree 100%. If you give Patrick Mahomes the ball and it was a mistake, like an interception, a fumble, a pump block, anything like that, if you give Patrick Mahomes the ball, Patrick Mahomes will
find a way to
put
answer.
points on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whether it be 3 or whether it be 7. Or excuse me, 6. But like, no matter what, Patrick Mahomes, the dude's great. He's awesome. There's nothing bad to say about Patrick Mahomes. It seems like the Chiefs are figuring out who, they are. They started out rough. They are still in the game now.
No, they started out good, and then they started out the season with a win, 33-29, when everyone thought the Browns were finally the Browns. Like everyone's like, look at the Browns, they're keeping up with playoff teams, and then Browns just fell off, and then they lose to the Ravens by 1 point, and then lose to the Chargers, and then they lose to the Bills. They beat the Eagles.
Yeah.
When they lost their games though, they were losing because, I hate to say it, because of Patrick.
When you're throwing 2 interceptions
the dude
a game,
was throwing a lot of interceptions. So and then I think he dialed it back a little bit. He was getting too far into the fact that he's like, I have the ability to throw it that far, but is it going to be accurate every time?
He took too many
highlight plays, where he's not looking and he's just chucking it, and
there was a lot of bad
down there. There's a lot of Kelsey's down there type of situations where he could have easily just ran out of bounds or just threw it away. And I feel like that's what hurt the Chiefs in some of their losses, but they won a lot of fucking games. They finished out the season. They lost to the Bengals 34-31. I was watching that game. And the Bengals, the score doesn't really represent, but the Bengals were in control that whole fourth quarter.
Yeah. Ja'Marr Chase, they let Ja'Marr Chase loose in that game. And
they've always been known, their defense is not a really, top tier defense. They're really known for just outscoring you. That's what the Chiefs are known for. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, Kansas City, I don't even know who the Kansas City defensive coordinator is, but I feel like he's going to have to figure out, what's his game plan going into this? Because with Cincinnati, Joe Burrow, they won in the air. Ja'Marr Chase ran all over them.
And Mixon was all over them on that game too.
Were they? Wasn't he?
Yeah. I could pull it up.
Dude, it's gonna be tough, man, because I feel like the Chiefs on the ground, obviously, it's like beating a dead horse at this point. Kansas City Chiefs does not have a running defense at all. Yes, they have Frank Clark. Yes, they have Ingram. They picked him up free agent. They have Tyrann Mathieu. Their DBs aren't the greatest. Safeties are good. Linebackers, pretty good. Against the run, I feel like Chiefs are nowhere to be found. And then it's tough to say. The Chiefs are going against, arguably one. He will be one of the best backs in the league. Very physical. I think he was the highest scrimmage yards running back this season. 7 touchdowns don't do him justice. Najee Harris. He has 1,200 yards. it's gonna be a tough
If
game.
if
I feel like the Chiefs are
if they
going.
want to find good tape on how to control the Chiefs, if they watch the Super Bowl with the Niners and
With
Chiefs, and
Tampa?
with the Niners, when the Niners were dominating them in the first half, they should watch that and take the game plan like that. Because Big Ben, in a way, I hate to say this, like Jimmy Garoppolo and Big Ben, they're both quarterbacks that don't move around. So if you design your offense the way the Niners were running their offense in that game specifically, in the first half, second half, just don't even look at it because they fell asleep. But but if they can run the ball and do a lot of design runs for like Claypool and do a lot of like wide zone runs, they can
Yeah.
easily, because the Chiefs are not, they have very good edge rushing, but their secondary is like iffy.
Well, like I said, their cornerbacks are not good. I mean, they're not. So
Matthew is what saves them like 9 times out of 10.
yeah, yeah, 100%. I mean, I don't know if we even touched on this in this conversation. I mean, have you seen the point spread in this?
For
I
this
mean,
game, and pull it up.
yeah, I, I mean, I think we mentioned it. I think I mentioned it before we even started this call. I mean, it's 12.5. Chiefs,
Woo!
75% they're gonna win in the matchup predictor. Like, dude, it's
I don't think they're giving the Steelers enough credit for what they are.
no, and that's why, like, if we go back to, and we did talk about this before this call, Big Ben's interview the other day, like, dude, it's scary when a team has nothing to lose
I
going
think the
into
way
it.
he's talking is he's trying to say like he is done. Like he does not care what
Oh,
the outcome is.
he's no matter what, he's done after
He's
this.
making it clear that like he's like whatever happens, I'm done.
But you have to agree though, that's scary to think about. You're gonna face against a veteran that he's done, and the Cinderella story is here. Pittsburgh, 7th seed, going against 2nd seed Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead.
Oh, I'm rooting for Big Ben just because he's done. Like he made it
Yeah,
clear. I'm like, oh, bro, if you can go out with a bang, at least get it to the AFC Championship.
if anyone can go out with a bang, Big Ben. Like if we really look at the whole playoff
If he
matchup,
doesn't get freaking demolished, yes.
yeah.
If his team can back him up, then yes.
And then you also got to think, Big Ben. That dude plays in the cold. He can go. I mean, the cold's not going to scare him with the snow that's coming to Kansas City.
Bro, and the weather's disgusting out here right now.
Yeah, but Big Ben plays. It's Pittsburgh. Big Ben has played in it. He's gone to Foxborough and won. He's gone to Buffalo and won. He's gone to Kansas City and beat Kansas City before. Now, granted, young Patrick Mahomes, I really feel like Pittsburgh could do it, but I'm still trying to find the pieces on how can I like really justify the point spread that there's. I mean,
It's disrespectful as fuck.
it is disrespectful to Big Ben putting that on.
And Big Ben's looking at it like, damn, they really think we like. He's like, they are like he came out. He's like, yes, on paper they are the better team.
Yeah,
They are the better team. The Chiefs are the better team
no doubt.
because they
But
do have a freaking solid kicker. They got their special teams is nice. Their offense is nice. Their defense is middle of the road. It's a pretty well balanced team. Now, can the Chiefs stop the pass rush? Is the thing. Because
with TJ Watt on the other hand,
if they can't stop him, it's gonna take triple. it's going to take the running back helping and the guard and the tackle stopping that dude.
And we've seen it before last year in the Super Bowl, man, with Tampa Bay and Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes does not do well being pressured every single down.
Yeah. Well, any quarterback is going to fucking be like, fuck me, TJ Watt.
I wouldn't go
I mean,
that
fuck.
far. I mean, we can go with Aaron
Dude,
Rodgers.
you
We can
got
go
to
with Aaron
know Patrick
Rodgers.
Mahomes is like, damn, like, this team is very beatable if we can stop TJ Watt.
Yeah. Now, this game, there's so much to talk about with Pittsburgh and Kansas City. There's so much animosity in this game because of
It's a
how
rivalry.
disrespectful the point spread is. Now,
It's disrespectful as fuck. At least make it a 6-point spread.
If Pittsburgh wins this game,
playoffs, man. Like, what the fuck?
if Pittsburgh wins this game, it's going to be by 3 points. Now, we could, on Sunday, this could be a blowout.
If it's by 3 points, you know how many bettors are going to be pissed? If it's by 3 points?
Yeah. Like,
everyone's betting at least 6+.
The thing is, man, if Pittsburgh wins this, it's going to be by 3. And I just want to kind of touch on this. Like, Pittsburgh, Big Ben can rise to the occasion. You know, like
Pittsburgh needs his every player to show up.
Yes. Now, I will say this: Pittsburgh, every single player is going to show up because Pittsburgh has a very, very young team. Yes, Big Ben, ancient behind the center, but you got to give that man credit. 2-time Super Bowl. I mean,
Big Ben, ancient. He's way younger than Brady is ancient. That man shouldn't even be
Brady is ancient, but he doesn't look
field.
ancient out there. He does not look ancient. Big
Ben,
Big Ben,
I love him Big Ben do be getting up like he may have slipped a disc here and there.
I love him to death, but when that man gets hit, or whenever he's under pressure, I feel like taking 3 steps is a lot for him. Like, to go to the side, to peel out. I mean, that man has been through so
Big
much.
Ben, he better be like prepping his body because it's disgusting out here in KC right now. And
yes,
2, not only is it a playoff game, but he's got to play a team that has terrible fucking like weather forecasts. His body is already like torn to bits. That's the thing, is he's got a young team around him. So like the only thing they got to worry about is making sure he doesn't get freaking ran through. Because he's not going to make it. If he's getting hit every drive, they're going to have problems.
Yeah. Now, I just honestly feel like if Pittsburgh can get the run game going and Kansas City cannot find a way to stop the run game first or second half, Pittsburgh could walk away with this with a 3-point win.
Easily.
But again, you just can't count out Andy Reid. Andy Reid's a hell of a coach. Patrick Mahomes, you got to give the man credit. They're out on all of their running backs. Obviously, they're going to have that third string back. I don't have his name up right now, but either way, man, it's going to be. It's either going to be a blowout or it's going to be literally either a 3 or 6-point game.
Yeah.
So,
Chiefs win it.
I'm not even
I'd say Chiefs win by touchdown. It's gonna possibly a touchdown. I can see it. Chiefs win by touchdown. It's gonna be high scoring. It's probably gonna be like, I want to say like 41.
You said 41?
Like a 40, yeah. They're high scoring offense.
I mean, damn. Okay. I mean, I see
41,
it.
35.
I see it.
Yeah, unfortunately, if they get 41, it might be a bigger spread. It might be leaning towards more of the like 12, like they're saying.
Oh, man.
It's hard. Like if they get 30 plus points, the Chiefs are a hard team to beat.
Yeah, man. And you know what's crazy? I feel like Chiefs are gonna come out first half and literally rack up the points.
Oh, they're throwing
And
deep right off the bat.
and if the
Right off
Steelers
the bat.
have no answer,
If
it's tough.
they're
But
gonna test it because Tyreek's fast as hell. If he hits Tyreek in the first drive deep, the Steelers are in for an ass whooping.
Tyreek is coming off of an injury though. He's not on the
He
injury
is,
report.
but
He is coming
he
off
is,
an
but
injury.
they are gonna send it deep. They're gonna send
Yeah.
it deep. And if Tyreek isn't the answer, they're gonna look down the middle.
Yeah. Man, dude, I wanna root for Pittsburgh. I am gonna be rooting for Pittsburgh, but I wanna put my prediction on. The only thing I can root for Pittsburgh on is Najee Harris. I still don't think they're gonna win, but I feel like if anyone can, it's gonna be
33-27. That's my final say.
33-27.
Yeah.
It is gonna be a high score game. I feel like it's gonna be 41-38.
If Big Ben can go out that way, that'd be amazing. That would be a very entertaining game.
Now, here's the thing, like, just one last thing I want to touch on this. Like, Big Ben is going to score. He is.
I hope. I really hope
He
he's
is.
not
He
one
is.
of these.
Now, it would break my heart to see Big Ben just roll over and take it. I hope he doesn't. But I know he's gonna score. And Najee Harris is young. Kansas City Chiefs are still gonna come out on top. But yeah, 41-38, I'm gonna say.
I can see it. I like my 33-27
Cool.
though. Sounds more realistic.
Hey.
All right, so we got Arizona and Rams on Monday. We're purposely saving the 49ers and Cowboys shit talk because that's probably going to be a good 30 minutes of fucking.
Oh, you already know. You already know. Yeah.
Now, Arizona, Rams. Rams just lost to the Niners to close out the season, and it gut wrenched them. It really did. They were torn. They were torn about that game. But they did it to their fucking selves. They had karma coming their way when their head coach stepped into the end zone and started acting like a fucking player. That goes to show he's a young head coach. It's stupid to say that about him because like he's a fucking grown ass man, but
Well, he's 35, I think.
yeah. So Arizona, Los Angeles, NFC West is the whole fucking division besides the Seahawks is in this shit.
Yep.
It's a fucking stacked division. Seahawks could have been in it if it wasn't for Russ missing so many games.
Yeah. Dude, Los Angeles Rams, man.
They're easy to handle. Now, who you can't handle, it don't matter what the fuck you do. Don't matter whose defense you have. You are not going to hold Cooper Kupp under 50 yards. You're not. You're not doing it. Let's see. Cooper Kupp, 118 fucking yards against a top 5 defense. You're not holding that guy back.
No, and
And
the
Niners
thing
have
is,
a very iffy secondary. So he did do that against a shitty secondary. So imagine if he plays a good secondary, you might hold him to 80 yards. I'm being so honest. Like that dude is hard as fuck to cover. That dude, when you thought he was covered, he was catching balls over double teams and shit. Like you ain't covering the motherfucker.
no. There's just so much going for Los Angeles, and you could say the exact same thing about Arizona. There's so much going for both teams
Do they
right
have
now.
D-Hop? Does Arizona have D-Hop?
Don't see it on here. If I pull up
They
the
have
full
D-Hop.
injury right
If
now,
they have D-Hop, so I can tell you right now, James Conner's going to
could be
play.
ready to come off injured reserve if the Cardinals advance to the NFC Championship game.
Oh
But
my
any
God, they don't
return
have D-Hop?
earlier, then that is considered unrealistic.
What is his injury?
Now, his knee. Now, granted,
Oh,
this was December 19th, so they have not updated this at all. But D Hop's out, man. He didn't even
all right. D
play
Hop's
against.
out. That's not good
D,
for. That's not good.
yeah, D Hop didn't play for the last game. Granted, he didn't need to. They were already in. But, I mean, there's still a
Wow.
lot going for the Cardinals and Rams, though. Now, the thing is with the Cardinals, I mean, you started the season off like, I
Killing it.
mean,
Killing it.
just
But you have to remember they're killing it with D Hop. D Hop is the reason why the Cardinals were a hard team to beat.
oh yeah, I mean, Cardinals started going downhill when people started getting hurt. I mean, you look at their last 5 games, they've won 1 out of 5. You look at the Rams last 5, they lost to the 49ers, which is always tough. I mean, dude, I still feel
Dude,
like,
Rams are beating good teams.
yeah. Now, this is in LA, which I'm sorry, it's really not a home game. I mean,
No,
LA's still
LA,
getting that fan base going.
they got to
The
get a separate
Cardinals,
stadium. They
what
got
you
to get
say?
a separate stadium. SoFi cannot be the home team for two teams.
Especially the Chargers. Now, Chargers did win
So
like the
this is
social
like
team of the year.
this is what I've noticed. This is where California fucked up. They put too many teams in one state. You
Yeah.
have the Niners, you have the Chargers, you have the Rams. At one point, you had the fucking Raiders. The Raiders will show up to LA. The fan base is in California.
Well, Oakland, man, there's so many Raiders fans. Like,
Yeah, they would swarm LA too. And then, not to mention, at one point, Oakland was an LA team.
yeah,
So, like, you have LA fans, you have Raider fans in LA for sure, because in the past they were in LA. And then you have them
yep.
in, like, Raiders, they could, if they're a good team, they could swarm a California game wherever. And the Niners did the same thing. There was more Niner fans in attendance at that Rams game, that last game, than
Oh
there
yeah,
were Rams
yep.
fans. I,
Now I feel like
it,
it's going to be the same thing with Cardinals. I bet you Cardinals are going to travel. I mean,
they travel well.
they have a massive fan base. Arizona's in the playoffs. You got a young Kyler Murray under center. Like,
Kyler Murray is like the NFL face right now too.
yeah, Kyler Murray. I loved him in Oklahoma. He's an awesome quarterback. Now, Kyler Murray's fast. He can throw the ball. Can he throw the deep ball with D
He
Hop?
can
Yes.
move, and here's the thing: Kyler Murray is a runner just like Jalen Hurts. He runs the
Yeah.
fuck out of the ball, and so LA does terrible. LA does terrible. Sorry, the volume just blasted on one of these videos. But LA is terrible with the run.
You know, I want to agree with you on this, but they got Aaron Donald still.
Yeah, Aaron Donald, I don't know what it is, but that man disappears against teams that can run the ball.
Yeah.
But he was still like, everyone doesn't remember this, but like he was all over Jimmy in that last game.
Yeah, I mean Jimmy G doesn't scramble as much as
Kyler.
God. Now
And
the thing
so
is though, Kyler's
I want to
fast.
give it, I just based off the fact that Cardinals don't have D Hop, I have to give it to the Rams. Their defense is super fucking good. Not super good, but their defense is pretty good. They got
What's
Aaron
the point
Donald. They
spread?
got the point spread is 4
Okay.
in the favor of the Rams. I can see it. I
could see it just on the basis of Cooper Kupp. You said it
Well, with this
best.
4
I'm
point
not even
spread, they're saying that the Cardinals are going to miss the extra point.
Yeah, I'm not gonna touch on Cooper Cup. Like you killed that whole segment. I mean, Cooper Cup is amazing. You can't stop him. We know that already.
Yeah.
So what I mean, Cooper Cup's always gonna be a threat. Stafford still got what's the tight end's name?
Igby.
Igby. There's so many weapons for Stafford. Now, here's the thing where I can see Cardinals coming through and taking this dub. Matthew Stafford takes chances, man, and
Yeah. Oh
it's
yeah.
downfield
He ended the
chances.
game with a pick.
Yeah, so we saw it in the Niner game. Matthew Stafford threw 2 picks in that game, and wasn't it back to back too?
Damn near. It wasn't back to back, but it was damn near.
Okay, so either way, though, I mean, if Stafford comes in, takes those dumb chances, he's even said it in press conferences before. I need to be smarter with the ball.
Yeah,
Now,
because he threw I think 3 picks just in his last game.
yeah. Now they also have uh, his name's Michelle or
Yeah,
Michael
Sony Michelle.
Tony Michelle.
And they
He's
have
solid.
Akers back. Cam Akers came back in that last game, but you could see it. He
He's
is
limited.
not. He should not have came back.
Okay.
He does
Now
not.
James
One, he
Conner.
looks super small. He does not look in good shape. Like he just.
Yeah. James Conner is questionable in this game.
He played last. He was questionable last game, and he played. I
Yeah,
can tell you
Chase
right now, if
Edmonds
he's
is also
questionable,
questionable.
Edmonds is questionable. All these dudes are questionable, especially come playoffs. They're gonna play.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be tough, man. I do feel like the
Van
Cardinals.
Jefferson being questionable though is a little. They got okay, so both teams pretty much evenly across the board have a decent amount of injuries.
Yes, they do.
Now,
Now,
the one that's hurting the Cardinals the most though, not having D Hop is really making it lean towards LA. And I feel like that's how they came up with that point spread. If it wasn't for them not having D Hop, I'm telling you right now the game would be going to Arizona.
or it'd be like 50-50.
Yeah, they'd probably give it like a 1-2 point spread, something stupid.
Yeah, and dude, it's gonna boil down to, is Stafford gonna make the right decisions with the ball? Is he gonna make bad decisions like he's done in the past?
This is an evenly
Cooper
matched
Cup.
game.
It is an evenly matched game. The Cardinals, Kyler Murray. Yeah, Rams have Aaron Donald, Von Miller on the edge. We haven't really seen much of Von Miller. He's had injuries in the past. So Von Miller is still a threat no matter what on the edge. But Kyler Murray, he's an escape artist. He can run the ball. We've seen it before. He's ran downfield with it. I mean, the dude's a threat no matter what. So and he can get the first down on a third and short by himself. So Stafford can't. Stafford's got to rely on Cup, Big B. Sonny
Michelle.
Michelle. There's a lot of weapons that the Rams have, but there's also a lot of weapons that the Cardinals have. But the Cardinals are missing their key player. Rams isn't. So I feel like the Rams will win.
Yeah.
Realistically, 28-21.
It's unfortunate for the Cardinals because if they had D Hop, I would be looking at the Cardinals like I don't want to face them. And
Oh, we weren't.
depending
I
D
mean, we
Hop,
were saying that at
D
the beginning
Hop
of the
is
season.
if they win this game, D Hop is going to try to come back for the next game.
Yep. And I really like D Hop. I really want him to win a Super Bowl. Do I think Cardinals have it in them to go all the way? No, I don't. But again, what you
If
said,
they
D
had D
Hop.
Hop, I would definitely give it to them. They
I
got
mean,
JJ Watt back. He's playing.
he is playing. That is another threat. Like Stafford can't scramble like Kyler Murray can.
If
And
JJ
JJ
Watt
Watt.
is as healthy, if he's as healthy as they're saying he is, then yes. If he came back just because it's playoffs,
Oh shit.
I don't know what to say. I know he's not going to be out there like he was in the beginning of the season, though.
Yeah.
But I feel like
Um.
this is J.J. Watt's last chance. I feel like.
Yeah. I see that. I mean, JJ Watt, if he is healthy as they say, he hasn't played since beginning of the season. He's gonna go out so hungry.
That's his problem, though. Is that's how he's always gotten hurt.
But right now it's playoffs, man. You gotta be hungry.
Oh yeah, he's going to lay
So
it out, but hopefully he can lay it out and continue.
you said it best right there. But I don't see the Cardinals winning at all. Like I really don't. Um, the way their last 5 games were, Dallas. I mean, they won against Dallas, but Dallas didn't show up that day at all, and it was really really terrible to even watch that game. So I still feel like the Rams have that momentum. They lost against San Francisco. They're pissed about it.
Yeah.
Like let the Rams are gonna win, and I feel like it's gonna be a one score difference. So like I don't think it's gonna end in a field goal at all. I think it's gonna be 20-21 Rams.
All right. 28-21 Rams. I can see that. I was going to say around the same thing.
Okay.
Yep. So now that we have that all knocked out, we have this week's games all talked about. We are
Yeah.
now we are going to bring up Dallas versus San Francisco.
This is what we're waiting for.
This is what we wanted to talk about. I know it took us an hour and a half to get there, but we're getting there.
It is here. It is
It's
fucking
arrived.
here.
We are here, alive and well. They got
You know
Dallas
what?
winning this with a 64% chance. They have a shitload of weapons. It's going to be a really fucking hard game for the Niners to win. Niners do have this, though, and they have a team that didn't even have a so-called Pro Bowl running back run the ball. They ran the ball very well. They have a mobile quarterback. We have Trey Lance sitting back, ready to go if Jimmy can't go with his fucked up thumb. They have a lot of things going for them. They have Debo, that's a running back, and wide receiver is the Cordell Patterson fucking Jr. And Niners have a very aggressive run presence. And they have Kittle. And they have Debo, who is able to go for the deep ball as well. But we don't have a quarterback that can really sling it that deep unless we put Trey Lance in. So
And
they
Trey
are
Lance is that
more
wild
than
card.
likely going to toss Trey Lance into the game. Just because it's the playoffs, they want to give that X factor. They want to give it to where they want to put everything on the plate to where it makes Dallas is going to be swirling, trying to figure out when the fuck he's going to go in the game.
Yeah. Now 49ers, I mean Jimmy it's this game is gonna end up on Jimmy G or Dak Prescott.
It's going to come down to who runs the clock down in the fourth quarter and kicks the ball in for a field goal. Like they said, 3-point spread. I easily see that. Every game that the Cowboys have lost has been like by the slightest of fucking by a field
Yes.
goal.
Yeah.
And it's been high scoring. If the Niners can get their offense to score every drive, they have a chance. Niners, what they have, so they have Shahir on here saying that he's questionable. He's playing. I follow all of this. Our rookie safety is playing. I don't know about our punter. Either way, Robbie Gould was doing the punts last week and did perfectly fine. Other than that, the only key guy they're missing is Mostert, but Mitchell clearly came in and kind of picked that role up. And then they have their other running that Trey Sermon got activated off injured reserve. He's playing in this game. So Mitchell won't have to take every hand off from Jimmy. And then you got Debo. You got the Debo package. You have the AU package. They have a very strong physical offense. The only thing that they lack is they don't have like a Tyreek Hill. They don't. We have our own version of it, but they don't have a deep threat necessarily. They're
Yeah.
they're yards after the catch. So if the Cowboys stop the run, the Niners are going to struggle.
You know, here's the thing. I mean, the Niners, I believe, if I am correct me if I'm wrong, they have a top 5 defense.
They do. They are top 5. After,
So
especially the last game, they got ranked even higher.
now here's the thing. I mean, this is if I mean if we look at the bracket, this is the game everyone wants to watch. Like honestly,
Well, it's
if
fucking.
you are
It's
a football fan,
we renewed the '90s.
yeah, if you are a football fan, this is the game you want to watch. You know, like I'm shocked this isn't prime time. Obviously, Kansas City just has that movement, but still, this is a game every football fan is going to want to watch. The main reason Dallas Cowboy #1 offense, San Francisco top 5 defense. San Francisco's always had that issue. I mean, not issue, but always had that just that shtick, man. That you always, when the Niners are in the playoffs, some way, somehow, they make it to the end. So it's scary to think about that. Like it's scary to you have the #1 offense. Can Zeke run the ball? Tony Pollard was still hurt. You have CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb is obviously one of the biggest threats on Cowboys offense. The Niners with Debo, but CD just has that speed that Debo doesn't have. CD has that acceleration, that drive to get
That's
down
what I
in the
said.
middle to catch.
So I'm
Sorry?
saying if the Niners don't stop CeeDee Lamb, they are fucked.
Yeah, CD Lamb is definitely going to be a key player, 100%, no doubt about it. He's going to be even more because Gallup is out. Gallup is out. So we're missing
I was about to
a
ask. I
major
said, you know more than I do. Who's a key guy that you guys are missing?
Gallup.
Gallup.
Gallup is that hurts a lot,
I
man.
actually forgot about that. I remember when that
Yeah,
happened.
with Gallup out, man, I mean, it definitely changes a lot because you got Cooper going on an out route or go route. You got CeeDee Lamb going down the middle, and you got Gallup on the outside. That's going to be your savior. Toe touch, 10 toes down. Now you're without Gallup. Cedric Wilson, though, I will say, he has picked up the load past games. Obviously, with the Eagles, that game 51-26 we won. Cedric Wilson got 2 touchdowns. I mean, he caught for so many yards, but that's gonna be. I mean, that's a big one. Um, other than that, like weapon wise, I mean, we have a lot of guys injured on the other side of the ball. Defense.
Yeah, I
That
see
just
that.
means
Oh, your
that just
guys'
means
punter. Your guys' punter's out too.
yeah, and
So they're gonna
we
avoid.
have
Both teams
old
are gonna avoid punting the
unreliable.
ball.
Yeah, we have old unreliable Greg Zerleon. I mean, I could argue this. We've lost so many games due to special teams. So, with the whole 3-point spread, it's definitely going to come down to a field goal. And I'm really scared about that. Really, really scared about that. I feel like if Jimmy G does not show up, Cowboys got this.
If Jimmy G for whatever reason gets hurt and starts getting slammed, because that's when he starts gimping and starts touching his hands, saying that his hands fucked up. His hands already fucked up, but what he did last week, you couldn't
What's
even
wrong with his
tell.
thumb, right?
He tore a
Thumb?
ligament in the webbing of his hand. His bone is separated from his ligament,
Mm.
and he was throwing the ball iffy here and there. Like everyone was like, first half was terrible. Like he looked awful. Like you could tell his hand was bothering him until he got used to how to grip the ball in the
Yeah.
second half. And then he showed up second half. They started realizing it was going to take a lot of play action. If they come in with a lot of play action, because he did play action with Debo in the backfield, he did play action with Mitchell in the backfield, he did play action with reverse runs. Like he did a fuckload of different run packages. He had freaking Debo threw the ball at one point. Everyone discovered Debo can throw 30 fucking yards on a dime.
Yeah.
And like I didn't know they were ever gonna have it. Everyone's coming up with their own Philly special in a way.
Yep.
So like they pulled it out last week to just keep up. And they were keeping up against a team that's probably gonna end up, it's either gonna be the Rams or Bucks come to the final game.
You know, I mean,
but this
Niners,
game is evenly matched. This is a very evenly matched team. They both have their own fair share of injuries. Niners have a lot of guys coming back. Their injury list isn't very accurate. They're making it seem like they have these guys out. They already announced that like possibly 2 to 3, maybe even 4 of those guys are actually going to be playing.
Yeah, I mean, take away the matchup predictor and all of that. You know, take away all the analytics and everything. I mean, this is going to be a straight up gridiron. Like, I mean, this is going to be a good ass game. Like, do I feel like the 49ers run game is going to do anything against Dallas? I don't think so. The only reason being is Randy Gregory, we have D Law, and then we also, I mean, the Cowboys have Micah Parsons.
Niners have ran the ball on every team that they've played this year.
Now, that's what I was going to bring up. Like, if we look back, Niners last game with the Rams. I mean, Rams have Aaron Donald, Von Miller. I mean, they have a lot of good. I mean, they are a really good defensive team. And Elijah Mitchell still almost ran 100 yards on him. Debo Samuel ran for 45.
This is what people don't take into consideration. Elliott played what? How many games out of the season?
Played damn near all of them. I think he only played one game.
Mitchell was out for a significant amount of time and almost got 1,000 yards.
Oh, I'm not taking anything away from Mitchell. Mitchell, he's awesome. I do like Mitchell a lot. I like Debo Samuel a lot. Debo Samuel has won the Niners.
This is where y'all are gonna beat us. If we can't cover Dak's deep ball, y'all win the game.
It's going to come down to your DBs. It's going to come down. That's what it's going to come down to.
If y'all start getting to Jimmy, if it comes down to our offense just not doing shit, because our defense is going to probably blitz the living fuck out of Dak because they know Dak is on a bum leg.
Yes and no. Yes and no.
But they were not blitzing until last week, and when they started blitzing, it was working.
But who do you have besides Bosa that's going to get to Dak?
They have Armstead. They have Warner. They have.
Isn't Fred Warner?
They got Jones.
The linebacker.
We got a lot of guys on defense that have gotten sacks. We almost have like 3 guys with 10 plus sacks.
Now, I'm not taking anything away from 49ers. I mean, edge at all. I mean, Bosa obviously is always going to be a problem. But, you know, Cowboys, I mean, give Zach Martin. I mean, we can double team Bosa on the edge to help out. I would be more worried about the San Francisco's O-line taking care of D-Law, Parsons, and Randy Gregory. I mean, you got Parsons that A, can do a QB spy, what the Niners are going to have to do, like, especially against those three players that has gotten to the quarterback nonstop,
Mm-hmm.
Mitchell's going to have to pick up the chip no matter what. And if you're not going to have Mitchell pick up the chip, it's got to be a screen. Or, I mean,
They're gonna so this is what the Cowboys like what's fucking up both teams is they don't meet each other every year unless it's the postseason.
yeah,
So like that is the disadvantage for this game, and I feel like that's why people are so excited for it, is because neither team is fucking familiar with each other. And the Niners, the only thing they got going for them is going off of what the Cardinals did to y'all.
yeah. I mean, the last time they played, I was just kind of curiosity. Um, I'm just curious. Like the last time Cowboys and Niners played in the regular season was 2020 in December.
They don't.
And
They only meet just because one, they're NFC, and then they're in the opposite divisions, and so like they only meet every other season.
yeah, so that was when the Dallas Cowboys had Andy Dalton. Like that's a long, long time that they have played. And then again, you said it at the beginning of this topic. Niners and Cowboys haven't faced in the playoffs since the '90s.
Yeah, so like there's nothing to go off of.
No, there's none. And I mean, since 2020, Cowboys have picked up a bunch of key players, um, and Niners as well. I mean, there's so much to talk about in this game. I'm so excited for this game, not just being biased that I'm a Cowboys fan, but I mean, if you're a football fan, you want to watch this game. This game is going to be a close game. I just feel
I'm
like
trying to
it's
see
on.
what Arizona did to y'all. So Arizona,
But
no single player really rushed against y'all with an excessive amount. It was really between Edmonds and Murray just evenly splitting it, and
yeah,
y'all let them get loose here and there. And then AJ Green was all over y'all, and Christian Kirk. They were without a lot of guys in that game, actually.
yeah, the Cardinals. I mean,
And I think that's when Gallup got hurt. Yeah, because Gallup played that game, and that was when he got hurt.
yeah, Gallup got hurt. Um,
Y'all's
it is,
rushing that game was awful. Yeah, basically Cardinals defense just held y'all back on the rushing side of the ball, and then they
yeah,
didn't really get the Dak. Dak was just not throwing very good in that game at all.
yeah. Dak didn't show up at all that game.
Ah, I see. Turnovers. That's see, turnovers is what killed y'all. Y'all had 3 fumbles just from Dak.
Yep.
I'm looking at it. And like they basically Cardinals had 0 mistakes in that game, and Kyler was running on y'all. Edmonds ran the ball. He got a few touchdown throws in there after those fumbles. One of them was a fumble. Only one of them was recovered by the defense. So Dak looks like Dak was just kind of like that was just a shitty game at Dak. So if Dak shows
Yeah.
up and has a shit game, and his team really feeds off of that,
Well,
and it
100%
showed.
agree.
It showed 5 different times throughout the season. Like,
Yeah. I mean, this is all going to come down to the quarterbacks, and I hate to put Jimmy G with Dak Prescott on this. Dak Prescott has been solid. I mean, 37 touchdowns this season alone. I
yeah,
mean, Dak Prescott, Mike McCarthy, and him have to come out. I mean, Kellen Moore as well. Like, it's got to be smart plays, man, and we have to attack. I mean, the Niners' weakness is definitely not. I mean, and I'm talking about the other side of the ball. I mean, it's definitely not their front, definitely not the linebackers.
it's the
It's
passing game. Can't,
Well, it's the
bro.
DBs,
Well,
100%.
yeah, our secondary is weak,
Yeah.
but for
So
whatever reason, our secondary has been showing up. They've been letting the rookie Ambry Thomas play a lot more. He didn't play the first half of the season. He rode the
yeah,
bench, and then Josh Norman started shitting the bed, and they benched Norman and put Thomas in, and then Thomas finally showed up. And so,
yeah.
like, it was just a bit like, and for same thing with the quarterback situation, like Niners at one point almost told Jimmy that he was done.
Mm.
Like they had such a roller coaster season with Jimmy, and now Jimmy's just showing up, and like that's kind of how like Jimmy's
That's how
storyline has
you guys
always
are,
kind of.
though. Niners always show up at the
They
right
show up when
time.
it counts because they have a coach that puts like when it all clicks, his shit works.
I mean, Kyle Shanahan's awesome.
But Kyle Shanahan, because I'm always watching Niner games, has also lost a couple of these games because he would try to pass the ball when he knew if he would just run the motherfucker. It's sometimes like you'll see it if the Niners end up doing it. They'll overthink. They will completely set up a pass play when everyone knows it's like, yo, like they could easily probably get 5 yards if they just did like some sort of run play.
And you know
Some
what another
form
thing
of fashion of a run play.
is that what's scary is Niners. I mean, I
And
know for sure
we beat the Rams without our starting left tackle.
the Niners. I know for sure are going to take chances. I mean, everyone's going to take chances. It's the playoffs, but it's the smart decisions and it's being smart whenever you make a bad decision. That's going to be, I mean, this game right here.
Mm-hmm.
Mike McCarthy and Kyle Shanahan, they're going to go for it on fourth down. These teams are both proud of the defenses. Obviously, Dan Quinn has done an amazing job with Dallas. I mean, the Niners, they always have a solid defense. Always, they're just missing those little key players, and those key players either get hurt or they just don't have. And right now, San Francisco DBs, Dallas. I mean, I would say almost the same thing. I mean, Trayvon Diggs has the highest. I mean, interception. I mean, he has the most interceptions, but he
So
also lacks.
with that being said, so you guys have to cover Ayuk, Debo, and Kittle. Who are you guys putting Diggs on? Like who's Diggs
Dude,
gonna cover?
I have actually talked about this with a lot of friends, and I've argued with this. Dallas has to shut down Debo. That sounds crazy to say with Kittle. We got to shut down Debo.
So when
Debo
teams
wins.
shut down
Debo wins
Debo,
games.
so when teams shut down Debo receiving wise, because I've seen it firsthand, it goes to Kittle, and then we just run the fuck out of the ball with Debo.
I I don't feel like y'all's run game is going to be as good as
Y'all
maybe a
don't
lot of people
defend the
think it is.
run. Y'all don't defend the run
Yes,
very
we
well.
showed it with Philly. We did show it with Philly. We did not, and that was like third string, second
Are you
strings.
talking about the last game of the season?
Yeah, I mean
That
Philly ran
shit
over,
don't fucking count at all. At all.
but still, Dallas is going to come with a plan. Debo and Mitchell in the backfield. We got to stop them. In the air, Debo's got to get shut down first before anything else.
So
Like
before y'all bring that up, what if Trey Lance? Because Trey Lance is gonna play.
Trey Lance is that wild card player that's honestly going to run the option, or I don't know if 49ers do a wildcat at all, but Trey Lance is
They
just going
do
to be that.
so they do designed runs. They do designed runs, but he'll also do a designed run where he starts the run, hits the brakes at the line of scrimmage, and will throw.
You know, I'm going to
I'm
be
telling
honest.
you, bro,
I honestly don't
the
think.
playbook is so different with Trey Lance. Like I seen it. Like they have a Jimmy G package that Shanahan likes to use, that he wants to use for this season until Jimmy's done.
Yeah.
But he also is making Lance take starter reps with his own offense. Like he's running two different offenses with two starting quarterbacks.
Yeah.
It's really hard. Like what I'm saying is like the Cowboys defense, they have the biggest assignment compared to all the other teams.
I agree with you 100%. I feel like if we look across the board right now, dude,
If either one of these teams come out of this, whether it's Cowboys or Niners, no one wants to face either of these teams coming out of this matchup.
no, they don't. And that's something I can agree with you 1,000% because the Cowboys alone, and the Niners, there's so many weapons on both sides of the ball that can really shake up a team, and that's scary. Like that is really really scary.
And if Jimmy, for whatever reason, decides that he knows how to throw a football, and he may start throwing a lot more than
He's
he
gonna have to
usually
throw.
does. Huh?
He's gonna have to throw. Like
So he's gonna throw because he knows he's in a dome. He has no weather against him.
the thing
That's the thing.
is,
There's gonna be no wind factor. There's gonna be no rain. There's gonna be no cold. Like this game is solely gonna be based on who is more talented.
yeah, dude, it's gonna be on these quarterbacks. It's gonna be what they do with the ball. This is what it's gonna be on because I feel like Dallas, the plan is with Dan Quinn, shut down Debo. We will pick up Kittle. Ayuk's just gonna have to. We're just gonna have to play man. I feel like that's
Mm-hmm.
what the Dallas Cowboys are gonna have to do is play man. The
Mm-hmm.
Niners, I feel like they're gonna come out in zone. Only reason why, like, I mean, they
They
could play
don't
the
do
nickel,
man to man. They don't have the corners to do man to man.
but the thing is with San Francisco though, y'all safety has to pick up CD. So we have the wild card Cedric Wilson.
If
Um,
y'all can stop Jimmy Ward, and if we get the rookie back, the rookie safety back, Hafunga, I think is his name. He's like a freaking trailblazer more than Jimmy Ward is. Jimmy is the number one passing defense safety.
yeah, and that's what's gonna. I mean, it's gonna be. This is gonna be a tough ass game, and it's gonna come down to 3 points. There's
It's
no
gonna
other.
come down to who doesn't make mistakes. Because as soon
Yes,
as somebody makes a mistake, whether it's the Niners or Cowboys, it's gonna be hard to make their way back.
it's whoever has the momentum first. It's
I could say
dude,
this:
it's tough,
Niners
man. I
are
mean,
a very shaky team in the first half, and if they don't like fire off first drive, second half, it's going to be a rough game.
in this game, I say it's gonna be a low scoring game. The only reason why I say it is because you have a top 5 defense, Cowboys top 10 defense, Dallas. I mean, with Dan Quinn at the helm, like it's a lot going on. I mean,
I could see the 25-22 kicking a field goal and winning.
dude, I see.
I'm just going off of like how the Cardinals game went down, but like we run the ball better than they do, so like it's really good. The game's gonna go quick because it's gonna be a run game, but at the same time, they're gonna toss passes in there as well, and if it really comes down to it, damn, I think my AirPods.
Yeah, mine's dying right now. You hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that being said, we might have to wrap this up because we're gonna lose audio.
Yeah, my left one just died. So, last thing, I mean, you said 21, what? 21-24?
21-17.
Oof. I'm going to agree with you on that. I was actually thinking 21-17. I think it's going to be 21-17 Cowboys.
Just because I'm a Niners fan, but if the Niners if they come in hot and they're able to move the ball, it may even be a higher score. But yeah, it's either going to be 21-17 or 24-21.
Niners?
To be tied up fourth quarter. They're going to have a bunch of 3 and outs, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. One team's
But you're
going to
saying
have
the
to
Niners
come
are
out
going to win.
and kick a last-second field goal to finish the game.
But you think the Niners are going to win? What? Can't hear you.
Are you serious? I just lost you?
Now I can.
21 last-second field goal to end the game.
Dude, again, man, I feel like Cowboys are gonna win, and the only reason why I know Dan Quinn's gonna come in, shut down Debo, Kittle's gonna be a threat. It's gonna be 21-17 Cowboys. I feel like San Francisco is gonna be that second half team, and it's gonna be Dallas Cowboys stopping them. So this is gonna be a good ass game.
To disagree.
I agree to disagree. I'm gonna bring back up this hard fact that I sent you before. In the playoffs in the '90s, Cowboys have won more games against the Niners. So
Y'all lost the last 2 meetings.
still,
Things back to back.
we will see what happens on Sunday.
And now
This
we are
is the
here
real
almost
prime
30.
time.
What's up?
This is the real prime time game.
Really hoping that this game is not like lopsided as fuck. I really hope it's not. Because then it's just the rivalry is gonna simmer down, and then
it won't be. I mean, if
these motherfuckers
are gonna
the motherfuckers are gonna be all up in each other's faces. It's gonna get
This
chicken.
is an old school ass rivalry, and it's gonna be a good ass game, man. And I mean, we'll talk about this the next one after the results, man.
Well, we're gonna wrap this up just so we don't let our headphones die.
Yeah.
And that wraps up this episode. And thank you for coming in on to the podcast. And then I'll let you know. I'll hit you up when it's all pushed up and see if it works. It's a huge file, so we're gonna see how this goes.
And we're gonna talk about this. You know, the winner, Dallas Cowboys. Okay.
No. Niners all the way, baby. All right, man.
All right, man.
Later.
All right. Later.